Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to have a live discussion. But before we do that, I just want to give a rundown of what's going on with Alec Baldwin. You guys probably know the gist of what happened a little bit over a year ago. Can you guys see me? Because for some reason on my computer, it's saying there's an error. And I love when that happens. Please don't shoot me because there's a technical error. Oh, I shouldn't have made that joke. I'm gonna need to edit this. Y'all can see me. Okay. I was reading kind of some comments the other day, like some kind of rude comments that I get on my channel. And someone like complained about the fact that sometimes when I have technical difficulties, they have to sit through them all of the 2 or 5 seconds it takes to fix it. I guess they want me to cancel the whole stream and redo a new stream and post the links all 50 other places when it could take like 5 minutes to fix it minimum. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Y'all, I didn't even think about that. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. Let's get into this. I'm probably going to edit this, so. Okay. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Alec Baldwin and the fact that he is facing involuntary manslaughter charges. Now we're going to talk about it. I kind of want to get everyone's opinion on the situation. So everything started a little bit over a year ago when Alec Baldwin was on the set of one of his films that not only was he the actor for, but he was also the producer for. And the weapon that he was using actually had a live round in it, and it went off and it shot 2 people, ultimately killing one of the persons that he shot. So I'm going to give you guys a rundown. Ever since this happened, there's been this kind of like, is he going to be charged? It was an accident. Should he be charged? And the DA actually made the decision, collected all their evidence, and the DA has finally made the decision on what they're going to do. So I'm going to read you guys what's happening. I know, right, Ian? So I'm going to read you guys everything, like this updated article, and then we are going to talk about it. I also have some footage of the armor, who was the lady that was supposed to make sure these weapons had dummy rounds in them. I have some footage of her immediately after the shooting happened. And listen, I want to be clear. I feel bad for everyone involved in this situation. I feel bad for the armor. I feel bad for, the 2 people that was shot, especially the lady that lost her life. She has a young son. She has a husband. I feel bad for everybody involved. But this armor lady, after this took place, she was interviewed, and her interview just didn't sit well with me. Like, she was very concerned about her name, oh, this is going to look so bad for me. Like, it wasn't really asking about the 2 victims. Now, Alec, there's a lot of footage that's come out of Alec after this took place. Him sitting outside the building where the incident took place. He's sitting out there and he asked, how are they? What's happening? So several times he seemed concerned, oftentimes saying like, I don't know how this happened. There shouldn't have been I did not pull the trigger. I'm very concerned with the 2 people that were shot. Now this armor lady, it's a different story. She was very like, I'm never going to work in this industry again. Like, my dad's supposed to be the best and he taught me, but look how I failed. We're going to watch it, but let me give you guys a rundown of this article. This comes from TMZ. I'm going to read it really quickly. It has updates, so I don't know if I should start the updates or start. Okay. We'll just start at the beginning. All right. So this actually happened, I think it was yesterday when news broke about this. Okay, Santa Fe DA Mary Altways says Alec Baldwin is being charged as both the actor as well as the producer on the movie set. She says he pulled the trigger as the actor, but had a duty to make sure the set was safe as the producer. The DA says Alec definitely pulled the trigger despite what what Alec is saying. Alec is saying he did not pull the trigger because she says she trusts the FBI's analysis. She says one of the reasons the investigation took so long was because prosecutors were waiting to see what the FBI concluded with the gun. Alec's attorney, Nikas, Luke Nikas, released a statement saying the decision distorts Miss Hutchinson's tragic death. Okay, so Miss Hutchinson's is the cinematographer that was shot and killed back when this was happening. Okay, so Alec's attorney released a statement saying this decision distorts Miss Hutchinson's tragic death and represents a terrible miscarriage of justice. Mr. Baldwin had no reason to believe there was a live bullet in the gun or anywhere on the movie set. There was not supposed to be a live round anywhere on the set, let alone in one of the weapons that they were using. He relied on the professionals with whom he worked with, and who assured him that the gun did not have live rounds. We will fight these charges and we will win. Sorry, my legs are on fire. My heater's right behind my desk and my legs are on fire. Okay. So Alec Baldwin will be prosecuted for the fatal shooting of cinematographer Miss Hutchins on his Rust movie set. I don't really know for sure how to pronounce her first name, so I don't want to mispronounce it. That would be really disrespectful. Where did that go? It'd be really disrespectful to mispronounce her first name, so I'm just going to call her Miss Hutchins. I actually minimized the article, so let me pull it back up. All right. Oh, I just love when that is happening to me. It did it again. Okay, there we go. Got it. Okay. I'm so sorry, you guys. So Alec will be prosecuted for the fatal shooting of the cinematographer Miss Hutchins on his Rust movie set. Prosecutors in Santa Fe County made the announcement Thursday morning that Alec will be charged with involuntary manslaughter. The film's head armor, Hannah Reed, was also charged with involuntary manslaughter. Both face a maximum of 5 years in prison if convicted. The assistant director, Dave Halls, has agreed to a plea deal for the charge of negligent use of a deadly weapon. He will get a suspended sentence of 6 months probation. Or he will get a suspended sentence and 6 months probation. So he's not going to go to jail. Interestingly, no charges will be filed in connection with the non-fatal shooting of director Joel Souza, who was also hit in the shoulder by the same bullet that killed Miss Hutchins. Attorney Brian Panish, who represents the Hutchins family, tells TMZ, "We want to thank the Santa Fe Sheriff and the District Attorney for concluding their thorough investigation and determining that charges for involuntary manslaughter are warranted for the killing of Miss Hutchins with conscious disregard for human life." Panish goes on to say, "Our independent investigation also supports charges are warranted. It brings our family comfort that in New Mexico, no one is above the law. We support these charges." So it's interesting. Miss Hutchins' widower, Matthew Hutchins, settled with Alec and the production company and actually became an executive producer on the film. So there was a lawsuit. So Miss Hutchins' husband did file a lawsuit against Alec and the production company. Won the lawsuit. There was a settlement. A part of the settlement would be that when the movie resumed, that he would be an executive producer on the film. And announcing the charges, the special prosecutor Andrea Reed, who was appointed by the DA, said the evidence clearly shows a pattern of criminal disregard for the safety on the Rust film set. In New Mexico, there's no room for film sets that do not take our state's commitment to gun safety and public safety seriously. Reeb said if any one of these three people, Alec, Hannah, or David, had done their jobs, Miss Hutchins would be alive today. It is that simple. Alex has all along denied any wrongdoing, insisting that all he did was follow instructions during a rehearsal where he was practicing how to position the pistol for a cross draw scene in a chapel. As director Joel Souza and Helena Hutchins figured out camera angles. He also repeatedly said Halls, the assistant director, handed him the prop firearm, something that Halls denies. It said it's a cold gun, meaning it was unloaded and it was safe. While the armorer, Reed, the lead armorer, was not in the chapel, Alex has suggested that she bears some responsibility as it's her job to prepare and check all the props. Alec was visibly torn up immediately after Miss Hutchins was shot. However, in subsequent interviews, he went on the defensive, saying it was a tragic accident for which he bore no responsibility. He also insisted he did not actually pull the trigger on that fateful day. The FBI disagreed with Alec after testing the weapon. It is also reported, also issued a report which concluded the pistol would not fire without someone pulling the trigger. Miss Hutchins' death was eventually ruled to be accidental. The medical examiner found no intent to cause harm in her official report. Still, Hutchins' family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Alec and others involved in the production, saying he directly caused her death and that he was negligent in handling the gun, not to mention safety protocols on the set. They ultimately settled the lawsuit in October and agreed to complete filming Rust. Alec also sued 4 crew members, the armorer Hannah Reed, Halls, Sarah Zachary, and Seth Kinney, claiming they failed to safeguard the film set. So, this is where we're at. There's a few things I want to show you guys. Did I get a new member in here? Let me. Sylvie Marie, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the Bash Chat. No, this is not the Bash Chat. I literally have not said Bash Chat in forever, and now I'm saying Bash Chat every time I turn around. Sylvie Marie, thank you for becoming a member to the Elle Bee channel. We welcome you. Thank you so much. Okay, so there was something I wanted to show you guys really quickly. There he is. Now, this is the lady, the armor, who is supposed to check all the props on the set. Make sure they don't have bullets in them. Right here with the very blonde and purple hair, her name is Hannah. This is right after the incident took place. You guys let me know if you can hear it. There is a lot of background noise because they're outside and the wind is blowing.
Oh my god, fuck.
Also, trigger warning, she curses.
I'm so. Are they okay?
Hey, Santa Fe, we need more units out here.
Huh?
I haven't been inside, I don't know.
God, oh my god.
Okay, I already notified police.
I already have them yelled at several times.
Keep like them.
Hey, 7 to 22 minutes here.
Are these the rounds here?
So, okay,
You have rounds here.
there should, okay, no, so this is the one, I'm pretty sure. This is that's the one, and okay, sorry.
You're okay.
Sorry.
Just relax. Just relax.
I'm so scared. I'm sorry.
You're all right. Just relax.
So here's the box that I got them out of.
Okay. Leave them right there. Leave them right there. Okay. Relax. I just need you to relax. Just relax. Okay. I just need you to relax. Just please relax. Okay. Just take deep breaths and relax. Can somebody get water for her?
The ambulance name?
No. No. The helicopter's here for her. Yeah. The helicopter's here for her.
Is she fucking? Where the fuck are these entry wounds? Is she okay? Can somebody tell me anything?
I don't know anything. I just right now I don't know. I'm just trying to secure everything. Okay.
That was actually not the one that I was intending to show you guys. I have not seen that one. I think it's the next one that I had shown you guys. The next one that I'm going to show you guys, if it's the one that I'm thinking about, she was very much just like, oh, I just ruined my whole career. This is it.
Okay, what is your full name?
Hannah. H-A-N-H. Gutierrez.
How do you spell your last name?
G-U-T-I-E-R-R-E-Z.
What was it again?
G-U-T-I-E-R-R-E-Z.
What's your place of employment?
Here.
Here? What's the name of the...
Rest.
Is it like a video production or...
Yeah, it's Rust Productions LLC.
Yeah.
What's your job there with them?
I'm the armor. Or at least I was.
Okay.
Welcome to the worst day of my life. I can't believe Alec Baldwin was holding me down. That's so fucked.
So when he said, you know, is this your job? She said, well, at least it was. And then she said, worst day of my life. I can't believe Alec Baldwin was holding the effing gun.
That's alright. Is there like a closer cop car you guys can put me in or something?
I mean, the closest one that I can put you in is one of the ones that's like the unmarked one.
I just kind of wish that any of my coworkers could stop seeing me because I already feel super bad.
Okay. Yeah.
I just want to get the fuck out of here and never show my face in this industry ever.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, I wouldn't. I'm like the only female armorer in the game and I just fucked up my whole entire career.
Okay, so let me tell you guys something. So I had not seen the earlier video where she was crying. I'd seen this one and I was like, hold up. You're worried about being the only girl in the industry that does this and you mess it like throughout this video she doesn't say anything about the victims. It was just her, which did not sit well with me at all. No, she does show emotion in that other video. Maybe she had time to calm down here. I don't know. But yeah, from my understanding, like her job was literally there was not supposed to be any live rounds on this set at all. How live rounds got brought on this set, not sure. But I think Alec and like production, their thing was no live rounds. No live rounds. So the initial understanding between the entire production was no live rounds on this set. So I think everybody screwed up here, obviously. You have to ask yourself if when an actor is filming, do they check the props every single time? Or are they supposed to be checked beforehand by the armor? Is that something that is like a rule on set? Like, hey, while we have an armor and this person and that person, while we have these rules, no live rounds, still make sure. Is that something that's supposed to be done by the actor? I don't know. See, that's the thing is I don't know. Is it something that he was supposed to do that legally he's supposed to do? Um, or is this something that was her job and then she didn't do it? I don't know.
Have you studied armory, or did you go to classes, or how did you get into it?
My dad's one of the best armors in the entire world, and he trained me, and I'm a fucking failure.
Did you guys hear that? The officer said, "Did you go to school for this?" And she said, "My dad is one of the best in the country, and he trained me, and I'm an effing failure." So that video, when I watched that, I was like, "Holy crap! Like, really, lady? Like, really? You were just so concerned about, if you're ever going to get a job in the industry again when there's two people with bullet wounds because your mishap?" Like, now the earlier video of her crying, that was the first time that I seen that. That obviously does make me feel bad. Like, at some point, she clearly was like, "Oh my God," and understood the gravity of the situation. But in this video, she seemed just way more concerned with herself. They have procedures that definitely weren't followed. See, that's what I'm wondering. And I am just curious. What the protocols are. She told Baldwin that she couldn't do it. He didn't let her go. He gave her 2 jobs. This was her first major job on her own. Wow. Mariska in the chat said one of the cameramen who quit the day before said that there were live rounds before that week, and a lot of them had to sleep in their car. Wow, yeah. That's a lot of. I know Alec is getting a lot of support through Hollywood. Even people speaking up saying, I think one of the other producers spoke up to say, hey, he didn't pull the trigger. Now, I did watch an interview. Where they were saying that this particular weapon is known to misfire. Like, why am I literally? Come on, guys. Alec Baldwin should have results. That this particular weapon is known to misfire. So, if that is the case, did she know that at that point that someone died? No. From my understanding, they didn't find out until later. Okay, so Rust actor Douglas Stewart defends Alec Baldwin. He says gun safety's never the actor's job. I don't know this. So this article says Rust actor Douglas Stewart is adamant about who's in charge of firearms on film sets. It says Alec Baldwin's getting a raw deal because actors are not typically responsible for gun safety. Douglas shared his thoughts Friday on TMZ Live about the announcement that Alec Baldwin would be charged with involuntary manslaughter for the 2021 fatal shooting of cinematographer Ms. Hutchins on the set of Rust. Douglas says whenever he's been on set with guns, there have been strict procedures in place. Procedures that clearly state a stage manager or armorer is responsible for prepping and handing guns to actors. As an actor, he says he's never been allowed to check a gun or open the chamber, whether for TV, film, or stage play. Mostly importantly, Douglas also says that's the industry standard that actors trust the professionals when it comes to the firearms. If so, it could become a crucial part of Baldwin's defense should this case go to trial. I guess when you think about it, that makes sense because the actors are not professionals when it comes to weapons, right? That's why they have professionals on the set who's supposed to be handling the weapons. Um, Maybe I know I did read in, I'll try to find the article, but I read in an article that there were not supposed to be any live rounds on the set at all. And I'll try to find that. That could be misinformation because when you read from 25 different articles, you know. So this is another actor on the set, and I'll play what he's saying for you guys in just a second. So as for Baldwin's role as an executive producer, Douglas says his understanding is that he was not involved in safety or day-to-day production in a hands-on way. Instead, he thinks Baldwin's title was more about finances and about his compensation. Douglas also told us the charges against Alec will not change his approach on film sets. He still won't take it upon will not Douglas says. Douglas says, I'm still not taking it upon myself to check a weapon, but says he will ask the armor to double check in front of him. He says he simply has no choice now but to be super cautious. So the filming of Rust with Elle Bee and the rest of the cast is set to resume this month with Miss Hutchins' widower, Matt Hutchins, now listed as an EP, one of the terms of the settlement in his wrongful death lawsuit against Baldwin in production. I guess that makes sense because a part of me was like, well, he should have checked too, right? But that could be an insurance situation. Like if you have actors on the set constantly checking weapons and they're not professionals with these weapons, they're actors. And then they end up getting shot or something because they don't know how to properly handle a weapon that may have a live round in it. So I guess it does make sense on why you would have an expert there and the expert be the one to have that job.
Charged both as an actor and as an executive producer. Those are different functions, but particularly on the actor side, what's your reaction?
As an actor, I've been involved in 2 films where I had to use guns. I was in a TV series where I had to use guns, and I've been in stage plays where I've had to use guns. In all of those previous experiences, there were strict procedures followed, where if you're
I just want to stop it just to give commentary on it that way because TMZ will probably try to get me for this one. So this is an actor kind of explaining what goes on set. Not only on set for movies, but for TV series and stage plays.
handling a gun, either the stage manager or, in the case of a film, an armorer is in charge of handing the gun over to the actor. So the actor, in all of my experiences, has never checked the gun, double checked it. You're not allowed to open the chamber, check the barrel, anything.
There are some executive producers who are famous and actors and are very hands-on, and there are others where it's more of a vanity thing, where they get an executive producer credit, but they're not really day-to-day producing the movie. Which was he?
I think it was a perfunctory role. It's just he's probably was giving up his salary in lieu of points, so when the film came out, he would make his money on the back end. He was not a day-to-day producer. He wouldn't have been, in my mind, involved in any aspect.
And I don't know if we know this for sure, if he wasn't really, if he was just getting the credit of production and not taking as much of a pay, so he would have that producer credit. I think this is just this guy's understanding of it is, well, I don't think he was like an actual producer that was doing the job of a producer, but was more or less given the title of a producer.
Of safety, for example, anything to do with production, whether it was lighting, sound, costuming, name your production item, that wasn't his role at all.
Question for you on the next film that you're working on, if you are handling a gun, will you check the chamber yourself?
I will not. I will ask the armor. I will be more certainly asking the armor again to double check in front of everyone. And that supposedly happened that day that Alec Baldwin had that gun. He was given the gun, and it was given a clear, cold. Yeah. It's a cold gun on the set, and you've got to trust that by the professionals. They're the safety professionals, the armorer and the assistant director that was given that gun. To me, they're the ones that are responsible.
I'm reading the comments. I do remember Bruce Lee's son dying. Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee died on the set of Crow. I think that's the name of it. I don't know. So that's the thing here is I don't know what protocols are on the set of a show or a film. The only thing I can take is what, when we hear actors saying this. Now, Alec Baldwin has a lot of people coming to his defense. Like, all of Hollywood is coming to his defense almost to defend him. So I think there's a lot of people kind of singing the same tune here is, hey, they're the professionals. We're not supposed to be opening the guns. Alec is saying that he never pulled the trigger. And I'm trying to find where it was that someone else on set said that Alec's finger stayed this way the whole time. I also read that, so I don't know though. Does anyone remember the helicopter that went down when they were making the Twilight Zone movie? I guess here it just goes with, what version of events you believe happened. If you believe Alec's version of events that, well, I didn't pull the trigger, I'm not supposed to check it. She's supposed to check it. That's her job. And I didn't pull the trigger. It was a misfire that went off. My finger never pulled the trigger. And I guess you could alleviate some of his responsibility. But if you believe, well, this man clearly pulled the trigger, he should have checked the chamber. So that's why we're having this discussion. It was different with The Crow. A piece of dummy got stuck in the chamber and no one saw it. The next time a bullet dislodged the piece and struck and killed him. Yeah. See, I wonder how you can tell. Like a misfire versus the trigger being pulled. Clooney says he does it. Oh, I know. Thanks, YouTube. It was a Colt 45 revolver. When you cocked that hunt, it definitely would go off. Let me see. There was some other stuff. I hope I didn't minimize that or exit out of that. I want to just say from all sides what is being said. So Alec is one of 3 cast and crew members facing charges over the accidental shooting. So like I said, the assistant director, David Halls, has agreed to plead guilty to negligent use of a deadly weapon. The armor, Hannah Reed, has been charged with involuntary manslaughter. Let me see. I'm trying to find. Okay. Thursday's decision comes more than 15 months after the fatal October 2021 shooting when a gun held by Alec Baldwin discharged on set. A single bullet struck Souza in the shoulder before fatally striking Hutchins in the chest. Baldwin has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing and maintained that he was told the gun was cold. So here's the key points here. SAG, SAG/AFTRA, which is I think that's like the Rifle Association, condemns Baldwin's charges in blistering statement. Mickey Rourke defends Baldwin over charges. Alec Baldwin vows to fight involuntary manslaughter charges. Read the DA's reasoning for charging Alec Baldwin in full. Alec Baldwin tweets about David Crosby's death hours after being charged in rush shooting. I don't know what all that has to do with this. I thought this was like key points. Come on. Where's Casey's question? I'm just wondering why there would even be any live rounds there. I know I read an article earlier saying that there was supposed to be no live rounds on set. But now I have a couple people in here that said that there actually were live rounds on set, that there were dummy rounds and live rounds. The armor did not properly check the weapons, and it was an unsafe work site due to COVID restrictions, making proper checks impossible. George Clooney called him out at the onset. That's true. When it comes to someone's life and the possibility of taking someone's life, you take every necessary precaution. I would love to get like a poll of celebrities that work with weapons a lot and just hear their thoughts. Like, do they check the weapons? Like, how often is it that they check the weapons? Right. And Nat said he didn't intend for this to happen, but he still should be charged for negligence and not intentional, which is the involuntary. Exactly. Why were they even there? There shouldn't have been both. That's just asking for an accident. Right. I read somewhere that there was not supposed to be live rounds at all. So I'm not sure. This is the one that I wanted to read. Okay. One of the ones that I wanted to read. George Clooney says he checks, and I think Will Smith did a video on checking too. I would check my gun, and I would be really scared to point one at someone. He was a producer and an actor, but don't forget that. And they left the guns unattended hours before. They were on a lunch break, and nobody was in charge of the guns that hour that they were all having lunch. I don't know why you would need live rounds at all, right? I mean, it's a movie. You're not really shooting somebody. So always use dummy rounds. Right. So this one says Alec Baldwin faces jail time after Rust movie shooting. He's being charged with involuntary manslaughter. This is the one that I wanted to read, where supposedly Hollywood was backing him. Why is it not popping up? So the general consensus in the chat is that Alec Baldwin is absolutely responsible. Not that he meant to do it, but that he didn't take necessary precautions. Tiny Dancer says, every single person that handles a gun on set in real life, no matter how many times it's been checked before, you must check it again. This isn't a shooting range or a hunting trip. Hollywood sites like this are dependent on the armor and producer taking proper precautions. Yes. Not all actors are experienced with weapons, and if the armor or someone in charge tells them it's fine, I can see why they would trust them. Personally, I would not pick up a weapon unless I checked the barrel myself. I can tell you, I'm terrified of weapons. My husband is ex-military. He's a veteran, and my husband is very educated when it comes to weapons. He has a lot of guns. He has all kinds of weapons, but I'm terrified of them. He has taken me to the range. He has shown me how to shoot, and I'm still to this day terrified of them. If I was going to become an actress and I ever had to use a weapon like a gun on set, I think I would just have it written up in my contract, like I will not handle a weapon that has an actual bullet in it at all, because I'm terrified of those things. But I don't know if I would be. I would have to bring Sean with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't feel comfortable checking. I would probably leave it up to the person that was supposedly the professional, which I doubt Alec Baldwin was scared of the gun. You know. I know. I would have to have a squirt gun, right? All right. So it says Alec Baldwin faces charges of involuntary manslaughter over the 2021 death of cinematographer Ms. Hutchins on the Rust set. The SAG and AFTRA and fellow actor Mickey Rourke have defended him. Yeah, that's what my husband says. Never point a gun unless you. Was he supposed to be pointing the weapon though? I know they were. Let me see. That's what I'm curious about too. I did see where they were doing like recreating. I think they were trying to get their angles right, and he was supposed to be like pulling the weapon out. So I'm wondering if he was supposed to be pointing the weapon the way that he was. I don't know. Here was the practice shot. I mean, plenty of times when you watch movies, you see a movie looking down the barrel of a gun. So if a gun had to be pointed at that camera, there's somebody behind that camera. So there's oftentimes he was supposed to point it. That's what I was thinking. I would not want to be behind the camera if somebody's pointing a gun. course. It's going to be. The practice shot is so eerie, scary. We have a gun in our home, and I would use it to protect my child if necessary, but I'm not comfortable with it. I don't want to use it in life or death situation. Same. Yes, she did ask him to point at her, which was wrong. As a person, they got trained. He should have said no. But there was no need to pull the hammer. So here's the practice shot. Now that we know this, he is handling a weapon with a live round in it. He could have shot himself. He definitely could have shot himself.
Are you one of thousands of...
I'm not one of thousands. Maybe, I don't know what you're gonna say. Yeah, that was the practice, and it was right after that, from my understanding, that the gun went off. That the gun supposedly went off. Thank you, Kelly B. I definitely will. Now, in those clips, clearly, he didn't pull the trigger. I did read, you guys, that these guns are known to misfire. So I just wonder here, how can you tell the difference between a misfire and if you actually pull the trigger? Like, I know they said FBI forensics was done to see, but if the gun went off, then how do you tell if the gun went off through a misfire or through, like, an actual pulling of the trigger? I don't know how you tell. Yes, Kelly, tell your dad thank you for his service as well. Oh, your son is in the Air Force. Your dad and your son, yes. Oh, he said he did pull the hammer back because it looked more realistic. That's scary. We had a gun. My armies left me. It misfired. Got rid of it fast. I wonder if there was an issue with his gun catching on his garment when removing the gun from jacket. Maybe. And middle was in the deposition. I need to get the documents for it. He did an interview. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Prosecutors will have a difficult burden to cast Alec Baldwin as a criminal, according to Alec Baldwin's attorneys. So prosecutors will need a mountain of evidence to cast Alec Baldwin as a criminally negligent gunman, skeptical defense criminal lawyers said on Friday, as Hollywood appears to rally around the actor. Baldwin and Rust Armor Hannah Reed will both be accused of involuntary manslaughter in connection to the on-set killing of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. New Mexico's first judicial district attorney, Mark Altwies, said Thursday, both Alec and Hannah have denied wrongdoing and vowed to fight the charges. Baldwin has maintained that he did not fire the shot that killed Miss Hutchins on October 21st, 2021, on the New Mexico set of the Western film. The prosecutors insist they have FBI lab reports that show that Baldwin did fire the fatal round. There is more than enough evidence to charge this case. If I were sitting as a DA and the FBI came back to me and said, you had to use force to press the trigger of a weapon to fire, then I too would have likely charged the case, said University of New Mexico's law professor Joshua Kasberg, a former lawyer and judge in the U.S. Air Force. But I will say this, it's really hard to prove a case like this. Carmack Altwies and Special Prosecutor Andrea Reeb both said Thursday that they don't know how a live round ended up in the gun and will likely never know the source. There's no way this jury is not going to lay some kind of responsibility on the state. Wait a minute. You want me to lay responsibility on the actor, but can't even tell me how the live round got there? Albuquerque-based criminal defense lawyer Ahim Asid said, Is there some intentional act that placed that live round there that we know nothing about? The state hasn't cleared up that issue. Prosecutors have called questions about the bullet's origin as a red herring and pitched Hutchins' death on the defendant's alleged criminal negligence for failing to check the weapon. But if I'm arguing in closing, I say, members of the jury, the DA doesn't even know how this gun accidentally became a dangerous gun. They don't know who is responsible for putting a live round on the set. Isn't that the real bad guy? Baldwin's attorney has said that the actor had no reason to believe that there was a live bullet in the gun or anywhere on the movie set. He relied on the professionals with whom he worked, who assured him that the gun did not have live rounds. We will fight these charges and we will win. An attorney for Hannah also vowed to prove that his client isn't culpable. Now, I have to say, if I believe that anybody is culpable, Hannah may be. I'm sorry. She was the one that was supposed to check these. I think Alec should have checked it as well. But that was her duty. So Hannah's attorney said she did not commit involuntary manslaughter. These charges are the result of a very flawed investigation and an inaccurate understanding of the full facts. We intend to bring the full truth to light and believe Hannah will be exonerated by wrongful doing by jury. Wrongdoing by jury. Veteran actor and Rust co-star Frances Fisher said Friday she believes the wrong people are being charged. She urged the prosecutors to stop blaming the victims and rhetorically asked, how about investigating who put the live round into the gun? Nobody is asking who put the live round into a prop gun. That's the question. Everyone else is blame and scapegoating. So, Los Angeles firearms instructor Scott Reese, who also works as a gun consultant on movies and TV productions, insisted proper protocols are well known and followed in Hollywood. So this is an LA firearms instructor who works as a consultant on TV productions and movies. He says, Alec is relying on professionals who are telling him, you're good to go. The protocols are there. They just need to be followed. An actor is relying on professional people who are handling the weapon and trusting that they'll be in the condition you wish them to be in. He's an actor. He's simply an actor. Alec Baldwin also has the unwavering support of the SAG-AFTRA, the union that represents actors. The prosecutor's contention that an actor has a duty to ensure the functional and mechanical operation of a firearm on a production set is wrong and uninformed. An actor's job is not to be a firearms or weapons expert. Despite this week's announcement of criminal charges, production of Rust will continue at some point with Joel Souza in the director's chair, said attorney Melina Spaldone, who represents Rust Movie Production LLC. So they added that live ammunition is and always was prohibited on the set. There is no time frame or new location selected yet for Rust. For Rust shootings, locations outside of LA are being considered. So much different information. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Yeah, how does a prop gun shoot off a live round? I mean, are they supposed to? To me, a prop gun is a gun that doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like when I think of a prop, I think of something that's not even real. It's just used for a movie set. It's not real. It's just it's not real. Yeah, a lot of conflicting information here. Like, oh, live rounds weren't allowed on the set. They should have never been there. Versus, some people have read that they were. It's a real gun with fake rounds. I honestly don't know. Okay. Okay, difference in a prop gun versus a real gun. Okay, Alec Baldwin fatally shot a crew member with a prop gun. Here's why they are just as dangerous. All right, here's more information. After a tragic information, y'all, I cannot talk today. After a tragic incident involving Alec Baldwin and a prop gun resulted in the death of a cinematographer, many are beginning to ask questions about the dangers of prop guns on film sets. How can something called a prop gun be deadly? What's the difference? And if the gun is filled with blanks, how does someone end up being killed without a bullet? Those are fair questions, especially for anyone who previously thought prop guns were harmless or fake versions of real guns to be used on a movie set. That's what I thought. And I put my teeth in. Like, holy crap. I can't talk. Okay. Okay, so Alec Baldwin's incident makes it clear that guns can be dangerous. And like real guns, firing one can still seriously injure or kill someone. On Thursday, October 21st, the producer and actor discharged one such prop gun while on the set of his forthcoming film Rust in New Mexico. The film's director, Miss Hutchins, was killed, whereas director Joel Souza was injured and rushed to a nearby medical center. According to the investigators, it appears that the scene being filmed involved the use of a prop firearm when it was discharged. Detectives are investigating how and what type of projectile was discharged. Well, it was a bullet. Baldwin, for his part, offered a statement the morning following the incident. There are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding this tragic accident that took the life of Miss Hutchins, a wife, mother, whom I deeply admired. I'm fully cooperating with the police to address how this tragedy occurred. I'm in touch with her husband, offering my support to him and his family. My heart is broken for her, her son, and all that knew and loved Miss Hutchins. Okay. While many details surrounding the fatal incident continue to be investigated, there are some clear facts to know about the kind of staged firearm involved in this accident. So keep on reading. What's a prop gun? For many people, the term prop gun is often interpreted as fake, non-functional version of a gun for the purpose of TV, film, theater. However, this is not always the case. While it's true that toy guns and replicas can be prop guns, the term also applies to real guns that are commonly used as props. You may be wondering why on earth a real gun would be used as part of a performance, and simply put it, it boils down to making things as realistic as possible. Unlike replicas, real guns have a different appearance and weight, which always result in holding them differently than a fake gun. Some directors prefer the natural approach, and it's far more authentic for both the actor and the audience watching their work. Usually, there are entire teams of experts, prop masters on set, tasked with the preparation, story, and handling of the prop guns. But that doesn't mean there are no risk involved. At the end of the day, there could still be used as weapons. Typically, real guns used as prop guns will be loaded with blanks for the use of a performance. While this doesn't necessarily sound dangerous, firing blanks can certainly cause injury and even death when shot at close range. But how? Well, while blanks are not bullets, they still expel materials when shot. Keep in mind that the term blank is itself shorthanded for blank cartridge, which is fed into the barrel of a gun. The cartridge itself has a casing or a shell that is typically filled with some kind of propellant material like gunpowder. In a real gun, a bullet is placed at the tip of the cartridge. Rather than using a metal projectile, however, prop guns can be filled with materials like cotton, paper, wax, wadding. When someone pulls a trigger, the gunpowder, instead of a blank cartridge, is still ignited with these materials, causing a blast of gas which would typically propel a bullet. In this case, actors can get that signature bang and recoil from the materials still being expelled from the gun. However, this means that anyone on the receiving end of the prop gun, even if it's filled with blanks, is at risk of being seriously injured. So even prop guns are dangerous. I guess that's what they thought was happening. Where is shot in the Yeah, with the technology and everything available, there is no sense that they can't make props look realistic, or even go back and edit them to look realistic. True story. All right, let me see what you're talking about. Olivia's video. So what's the general consensus here? I'm kind of thinking, like, if you drive drunk, it's your fault. Okay, but that wouldn't be equivalent. No. Okay, so, I don't even know how to make something equivalent. I guarantee you, if he's convicted, not many actors will be picking up guns on sets anymore. Maybe not. No bullets on set, yeah. I'm thinking maybe something along the lines of, like, I don't know. If you are filming a scene where the tires are supposed to blow out, I don't know. But you have, like, a mechanic and a tire person on the set. And really, the tires aren't going to blow out. I don't know. Do you check the tires before you get in and film that scene? I don't know. I can't really think of like any. What if a stuntman was driving a car crazy, like on a Fast and Furious, and kills someone? Is he charged? Stuntman was driving a car crazy, like on Fast and Furious. I mean, these days, I think anybody can be charged with like negligence, basically, which is what he's being charged with. Well, he's being charged with involuntary manslaughter. I mean, he didn't mean to do it, but it happened. You know, yeah, I do have the question of who put the live round in the gun. Somebody did that, and nobody knows who did that yet. That's still not being asked. Like, oh, well, there was a live bullet in the gun, and the armor. Did she check? I mean, you should have a record of check the prop at this time, check the prop gun at this time, check the prop gun at this time. Write it down. Gun was handed to actor. Check the prop gun before. You know, I don't know. I could understand why the production would not want the actors handling the guns and like checking them. I don't know. But if they think that they don't have anything in it, if it's a dummy round, then it shouldn't be dangerous. I don't know. I don't think that would ever come out. I don't think we'll ever find out who did that. Yeah, somebody knows something. Somebody knows who put that live round in the gun. But I'm like, when was the last time you checked, Hannah? Because you should have checked, which from my understanding, she was not working inside the church because of COVID restrictions. So she was outside the church, checking things outside the church, sending them in, and at some point going inside. It was handed to Alec by someone else who said this is a cold weapon, and Alec did not check it. Ab says armor is negligent and producer, which would be Alec Baldwin. Yeah. So anyways, you guys, we're at an hour. Yeah, the person will probably take it to the grave that can eat you alive. I'm sure a big budget movie, those things are done. And actors will be able to ask who checked, how it was checked, and when it was checked. I think that's what Clooney meant. Yeah, but that's what killed Jackie Chan's son. Yeah, Brandon Lee. Wait, Bruce Lee. I don't know what killed Jackie Chan's son. Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee often get confused with each other, though. Not by each other, but other people confuse them. They don't confuse themselves with each other. Well, one of them's dead. Anyways. Well, the bullet is so the bullet is no more because it was shot out of the gun and it so there may have been a fingerprint on the bullet, but the bullet is like I knew who you meant, Kimby. Bruce Lee son, yeah. Are dummy rounds and blanks different? I don't think so. I think they're the same thing. Sounds good, Casey. Man, it's already 7 o'clock. The whole reason behind having armor and having it double, triple checked is because you can't trust it to be okay until you check it when it's in your hands. Yeah. I will. Do you have dinner? Not yet. I haven't had dinner yet. To me, just my opinion, you can't trust someone's word when everyone's life depends on it. You have to do your part. I agree. Clearly, it wasn't checked because the dummy bullet is very easily known Yeah, from my understanding, you could tell the difference. But anyways, you guys, I want everyone's opinion. If you're watching on replay, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Who do you believe is at fault here? Let me know. They're facing maximum 5 years in prison. More than likely, Alec Baldwin will not spend any jail time, I feel like. I mean, he might. I might be shocked. And, his team says they're going to beat this. They're going to prove that he was not at fault. The armor, Hannah Reed, her team says they're going to prove that she wasn't at fault. If I'm going to blame anybody, like the most would definitely be the armor. And then Alec, So you guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Eating now, twirling my hair for the trolls. Yeah. You guys leave me your thoughts, though. We're going to come back. There was something else that I wanted to talk about. I'm also going to do some pre-recorded filming to put on the Bass Chat channel. Amber Portwood allegedly being fired. Chelsea Huska's new show. I'm going to pre-record and edit and put that up on the other channel. So make sure you guys go watch that because we got to get those watch hours up. So subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the Bass Chat if you haven't yet. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Who do you believe is responsible and what should be their punishment? Let me know. Give this video a thumbs up and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone.